Well, our colleague SABC News reporter Katlego Legodi is at the raid and he joins us live. A very good afternoon, Katlego. What can you tell us?
Well, Nompu, it's been a very long day for officials here from the Special Investigating Unit. We are at the tail end of their probe here in terms of that raid that started in the morning. And more or less we've seen officials from the SIU, the Hawks and the people from the IT department as well just coming through here to pounce on this area here. This is the offices that belong to Alexander Bay Diamond Company, and that is a company that is affiliated or contracted to Alexkor, that state-owned diamonds company. The officials from the SIU from the early hours of the morning just with their boots on the ground, just ensuring that they don't leave any stone unturned in probing any level of wrongdoing where this company is concerned. We are told that this company has been contracted to Alexkor from 2015, already 2014, 2015, and that it more or less has been fingered in issues of corruption and maladministration where the sale of diamonds is concerned. And I'm going to just bring into the conversation now the SIU spokesperson Katlego, who's been with us here from the morning into the afternoon, and he'll just wrap it up for us and let us in on basically what we found here and where to from here. So welcome to the SABC. Just take us through the process here. We are at the tail end of the investigation and the probe here. Just let us in on how that raid went.
Thank you very much. I can say that the raid went very well because what we wanted to get is documentation that is both on the computers and in files. We managed to get most of that information that we are looking for, and we are now happy that we can continue with our investigation because the teams have now to go back. You saw how many boxes got out of here. We've got to go back and sift each and every page of that those documents to make sure that we get the information that we need. And once we are done with that, we'll be able to know whether there has been any corruption that happened, there's been any maladministration. In cases where we find there's maladministration, we will deal with those issues in relation to recovery of the money, and then we'll be able to then, if there's criminality, take it to our colleagues in the NPA to make sure that they take it forward together with the Hawks.
We saw as well a challenge earlier on in terms of the vault. Just let us in on the vault process. We know that that is a place where some of those documents and some of the evidence that you're looking for, they were in that vault and eventually it was opened. Just take us through the story of the vault.
What happened in the morning is that when we arrived, we wanted to get into the vault, and they said that there is only one person who can open that vault, and that person was not there. And then ultimately we had to phone this person and said to the person that we are not going to leave here without getting into the vault. And ultimately the person came and opened the vault, and there were also other offices that were closed that also had some safes in there, and we had to open them and make sure that we get all the documentations, even their phones and some of the laptops that we needed to take with us.
And where to from here? Is this the only company that you're investigating in terms of Alexkor and its works? Could we see other companies that are linked to Alexkor, the state-owned diamonds company, also being under the investigation?
It will depend on what we find in the documentation, because now the next step is to say when these diamonds are sold, who are they being sold to? Therefore, that will be the next step, and therefore that will determine what the next step is going to be in terms of other companies that might be involved.
All right, so thank you very much for your time. The SIU spokesperson there, Mr. Katlego, upbeat about the work on the ground here today. You heard him talking about the files that were seized here. There were computers that were taken as well. There were also just cell phones belonging to some employees of Alexander Bay Diamond Company that will form part of their investigation. He also just letting us in on the fact that, more or less they'll just investigate and probe further to see if there are any other companies that can be linked to any level of wrongdoing where Alexander Bay a diamond company is concerned. And also just speaking about earlier on the prosecution, to say they're looking at prosecuting those people that are accused of any wrongdoing linked to what is happening here, and also just saying that they're following the money. You can imagine now that this is a company that Alexkor is a company that is responsible for diamonds and they're coming out. I'm just going to ask my colleague to show you they're coming out, and she'll just pan as well and show you the officials from the SIU, from the Hawks. Their job here is done. They've more or less satisfied themselves in terms of those documentations, the files that they came here very early for, and we heard that them saying as well that this is not the last of it. They're going to investigate further. They're going to strengthen their case. This is of course that a message coming from President Cyril Ramaphosa when he gave them that proclamation and the go ahead to investigate what is happening here. Them saying that they're going to be sifting through this documents here. They're going to ensure that anybody that is found to be in the wrong is brought to book, and it's more or less questioned further. And if there's any prosecution that one can actually expect coming out of here, we'll see the SIU really enforcing it. This, of course, Nompu was a multidisciplinary operation. Not only the SIU on the ground, we also saw the Hawks. They are here as well. We also saw the IT specialists as well from the SIU just coming here as well to help with the work. And more or less, most of them just saying that this is something that will be continuous. This is something that will be ongoing as they continue with their investigations here on the ground. And the SIU just closing in on those companies, especially those that were fingered at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. You can remember that when that last report came out of the State Capture Commission of Inquiry, most of it was the recommendation around the fact that there are further investigations that still needs to be conducted, and that people will still need to be brought to book in terms of those recommendations coming out of that document. Nompu?
Thank you very much for that report, my colleague there, Katlego Legodi.